First thing I need is something down in here where I'm working, and I need the 6-inch knife so I can scrape out the walls.
Behind you is the
Knife?
box for the knives. Can you put the cardboard down?
I need to put something on the floor because I'm getting ready to make a mess.
Go ahead and put your blurb in.
Oh, so we're on and live. Take a picture of all the cabinets. We build the cabinets on a cabinet remodel because we found if we don't build the cabinets, they got glue all over the faces and you can't get dried glue off the faces, and they don't build them square. But the cabinets are wonderful and great. Come and look at the cabinets. You don't find cabinets like these everywhere. Total wood. They're not contact paper. They're actually painted on the sides, underneath, and the faces. Slow close drawers. We are beating the market in such a big way in our area. There's no reason not to have these cabinets. I'm still underpricing at 300% any other cabinet company in town. Our cabinets are better. These are not 1/2 inch. They're more like 5/8 inch walls on the cabinet. What that means, if you ever have a leak or any problems, they don't fall apart. The second thing is they're not chipboard, so they got leak or problems, they're veneer. Yeah, you can damage them, but they're a lot harder to damage, but they're solidly built, well built, pretty cabinets. We've got some with drawers, just shows how the drawers look. Slow close drawers, beautiful thing. These are not tweaked at all, they're just set up and built today. Beautiful, solid dovetails. Everything's made like it ought to be made. And you just don't find that anymore. You get high-end cabinets because it's a high-end place, but it doesn't mean that they're good cabinets. They mean you paid a lot for it. We took this house, John, and there's a point. We took the roof off in 10 weeks from this corner all the way over, down to the front, and we put it all back together because the contractor decided they would cut the structural beams out of it and build a roof over the old roof. So we put all these dormers in while we were doing it. Put that 18 by 22 beam, 42 foot long, engineered of course. This was all in 10 weeks. This customer is really good and tolerant for going through a remodel and paying somebody else to do it wrong already. And it cost them a mint, but their house was falling. The house had actually started, John, because they took the braces out, the cross braces, started to push out the wall 6 to 8 inches. And so we had to take it all down. Well, on the outside we have brick. So that's all new windows, all new dormers, all new beam, all new joists, decking, roofing. And we solved the structural issues that they left behind. But what they also left behind is some really bad cabinets. They put brand new cabinets at, and we didn't get pictures of it, but they left some really bad cabinet work. And these cabinets, they jaked and cut and made fit, and it looked okay, but it wasn't what the lady wanted. Look at the walls. They paid high price, high dollar for these cabinets. They're less than 1/2 inch. They're chipwood with veneered sides. All they have is a solid base or a solid face. And so when they made these cabinets and they cut it for the sinks and things, you didn't have much to work with, and they put this nice rough wood in here. But if John takes a picture down the side of the cabinet, you'll realize how these bow and how they're hard to get straight. And so you had gaps and things between the cabinets when the last installer put them in, because they were junk cabinets. They look pretty. Here's the face of one of them. Look really nice. But the reality is they're junk. We look at the drawers. They are dovetailed, but they're not smooth like ours. It's rough. The milling is not good. And so we're taking all these cabinets out. Our pressure, because it's a pandemic, is this customer went to Florida with their horses. They have a business down there, went to the horse sales, went to make money. He's a veterinarian, a good man, tremendous man. So we stopped working on the house while they were gone, hoping to come back in January or February and finish a lot of the jobs we had. We had the kitchen designed for them, these cabinets out because of the big remodel and the fix of the roof. And we come back and there's a pandemic on. The day I was going to get her cabinets out of Cincinnati, they shut down the warehouses, so I couldn't pick them up. They've been stuck in Palm Beach this whole time with all their animals and all. They need the grass that's growing here in Kentucky, and they're in Palm Beach. They need to get back to the work and the jobs that he has here. He's been flying in to do his veterinary emergency work. Very expensive. The family needs to get home. And she didn't have a kitchen. So during the pandemic, because I couldn't get cabinets, we put all these cabinets back in the house. The pantry and the kitchen, and we had them all put back in with the granite that's over by the wall back in the house. But the reality is they're coming home now, and I can get cabinets as of last Thursday. So we took our pandemic trip, couldn't get them out of Cincinnati still. They hadn't received a crate of cabinets, didn't have any cabinets. I changed suppliers, signed up. We went to North Carolina, found cabinets, brought them back, hauled them back. It was about a 24-hour event for us. Left 5 o'clock one evening, got back, oh man, more than 24. We got back at 10 o'clock the next night, and we've got all the cabinets. But that means they're coming home May 1st. We'll be very close. I've never done a kitchen remodel this quick. Only on TV can you do such things. And so we're going to try. We're going to push day and night. We're going to get these cabinets in here. They have to travel with all their horses, all their trailers, not knowing where they can stop. Every 3 hours they have to stop and feed and water the horses, make sure they're all right, and the other animals that are with them. So they've got a trip from Palm Beach or southern Florida every 3 hours, having to stop, carry their own water. Where do you get water for that many horses? And so they're carrying a water tank, hauling that with their trucks. It's going to be quite an entourage, but they have to live in the horse trailer and stop and sleep in the horse trailer. They're bringing their food. I mean, it's a serious event. So it's not the urgency of I need a kitchen. It's the urgency of I'm coming home in a pandemic and I don't have a kitchen. The reason she doesn't have a kitchen is because we pulled it back out in anticipation of the cabinets that we've been waiting a week to get. And so we're not at 14 days for a kitchen, which is doable, but hard. We're at less than 7. So we're building the cabinets, putting the cabinets in. Hopefully we've designed everything. I know what pieces we're missing. We missed or broke 2 pieces of glass. I don't think that's a problem, because what they would really like for us to do is after they take their 2-day trip in their trailer with all their animals and their stuff to come home, they would like for us not to be here. And that's reasonable. It's been a hard event for everybody and different dynamics, but we're trying to get them a kitchen, and we hope to have a picture with food in the refrigerator for them. They haven't been here since late fall. Food in the refrigerator, so when they get here, they can rest. Then we'll come back and do some finishes after they bring everything together, get their farm up and running, get the business up and running. Everybody's struggling. Veterinarians need to work. Doctors need to work. A lot of people have been off. There's no money. It's difficult. The government's not bailing people out because it's our job. We are the government. And we all know that because we're business owners and he's business owner. So we know what they need. They need their house badly. We've got the whole garage to clean up. John, look around. We've got to get all the cabinets out so when they land, they can put the stuff up from all their entourage and their vehicles. There's a few touch-ups in the house we got to do this week as well. That'll make it difficult for us, and drywall and patching. When you do a remodel job in 10 weeks, there's always something to do. And so we're going to try to grab everything we can possibly grab. We've been building cabinets all day. The carpenters have gone home for the evening, so we can do some mud work. I'm not really happy with this particular corner bead. The drywaller was in a hurry. It didn't set well. You may not see what I'm looking at, but this is bubble in the tape. That means the tape is not bonded to the drywall. They got in a hurry. There's a line here showing that the tape is not bonded to the drywall. We're going to have to take this corner out, not just because of that and that it's wrong, and repaint it, but when we set up these new cabinets, they're 42-inch cabinets, and we've got a problem. How's the crown molding going to look around that? That's because they didn't get their boards to line up on the proper planes when they lined up the old house and the new house. So I'm going to have to take that out tonight, completely remove it, get the plane back up to where it needs to be, because the cabinet crown molding needs to come straight across here, and this is not acceptable for that circumstance. And that's going to have to go from this side all the way to that side. We're going to have to do it without damaging the wall paint, because I just don't have time to be painting the walls in this gig, and that's going to be tricky. And I'll do a little things that I do mysteriously to make sure that that corner bead gets replaced properly, that off angle, and the board gets lined back up. But it's going to be a little bit of an event for us. But we've got some other things in the house. They want, in the new cabinet set, they've got a wet sink. But between taking them out and putting them in, I couldn't put a wet sink in it. I didn't want to damage it because we didn't know if we were going to get cabinets or not anyway. So tonight we've also got to cut a slit across here and be able to put a wet sink in and get the line over here to the sink. Now I could get in trouble for that, but this is a pandemic and we don't really have time to be dickering about whether it's a remodel and an adjustment to plumbing or whether it's a papered inspected issue. Also, the last guys did such a wonderful job. This is actually a water line to the sillcock outside. For those that don't know what a sillcock is, a sillcock is the water outside the spigot, and it has a little ball valve inside the wall, and it shuts off the water behind the wall, so in the winter it won't freeze. Well, these guys shoved it right under a kitchen cabinet. How would you like to have that plumbing under your kitchen cabinet as well? So we've got to clean that existing thing up too. So that's your sillcock. There's a lot going on in this dynamic. This is what makes it pandemic construction. Normally, operations like this, the minimum kitchen should be 4 weeks. I've done it in 3. I've done it in 2.5. But after that, you're starting to make some funny changes. Anybody that does it on TV in 24 hours is super planning, has to have inspectors standing there to do every aspect of the remodel. Everything is in your kitchen. You've got water, you've got plumbing, you've got HVAC, you've got electrical. All these things have to be inspected. The inspector has to be called, not until you're finished. And then they have to come and inspect before you can advance. Now, luckily, during the remodel, we've got the electric inspected. We are done. We have a CO, so we're basically taking cabinets out and putting them in. That's my disclaimer. We have a CO on this house. We're not making any adjustments. We're just taking them out, putting them back in. That saves time, but also our problem is usually a template is minimum of 1 to 2 weeks for your granite countertops or marble. Luckily, our guys know us, and I called in a favor, and they said they would push anything out of the way for this job. They want to do it. They understand the plight of the pandemic. They understand the people are coming into work, and we respect that. We're going to help working people, and we're going to do that more and more. If you need help, we're going to help you. This is a tremendous job. When you look at what's the finish of it, we want to finish in style. We want them to be comfortable when they come home. We're going to clean this house. We're going to organize this house. We're going to get the sinks in. We're going to get the stove in. We're going to make sure they cook, the refrigerator. This is an awesome kitchen. It's 3 times the size of a normal kitchen. We have 3 times the cabinets, and we're also going to work in this pantry. And you look at the pantry, that's just a whole nother cabinet job in there. We're going to do it if we can, if we're standing. It's a pandemic. It's time to work. We all need to work. Check us out. Subscribe to our links. Appreciate it.
Go in through the crawl space. It's starting to get a little warmer outside, so the possibility of snakes quite high. Luckily, we got Brian here, the snake killer.
Hello, mate.
But he's going in the back. I'm gonna go in the front. But hopefully, there's access somewhere around here, or this is all not gonna be worth it. Come on up in here, Brian. I think it's up in there, buddy. Does it look like something laying under that paper?
Bro, don't say that.
Seriously, look right there, dude. Hey, watch it, boys. Watch it. Seriously, watch out, Brian.
Dude, where?
It's moving. Watch out, Brian. Watch out. No, I think that just rolled up paper. That's my bad. That's my bad.
I don't think it's under here, dude.
Yeah. Kind of thought that
We're
too.
at a dead end, folks.
Well, that's the end of that.
Seems to me that there's no...
That trip to the great beyond didn't pan out like we wanted to. We had intel that believed that there was access to the crawl space up in there, but just like there's toilet paper on the milk aisle, it ain't true.
So, the gentleman went underneath, found no crawl space access. Ryan here is from the Job Corps. He knows what a crawl space access is for. to access crawl spaces. We got a wet sink in an addition that the last guys did, and they left no access. You say, well, that's no big deal. Well, now we have to go through the house and the finishes to get the water where it needs to go. Do I want a plumber cutting these joists? No, a plumber's not a carpenter. And so we're going to do it for them because there's a bunch of wire up here and it would burn us up. It's a terrible thing. Why would you want a plumber to do that? He's a plumber. And so we're running our holes for the plumber through this dangerous area, and we're trying to get through the finished house, which is on the other side of this wall, down the wall into our kitchen to put the plumbing in, give them the access to get the pipes in to put this wet sink in. Now you say, that's all fine and good. It had to happen. That's true. But if the guy didn't want to save $200 on the metal access door that he was supposed to put in when he put in the addition, it would have saved him all this work, because we could have got into the access and not gone through all the finishes, paint, drywall, had to drill these holes and come back through. We'd still have to come back through here, but it wouldn't be near the trouble to the house or the cost to the homeowner. You say, well, I saved money. Well, you did, but not really. You paid for the access when the mason was doing the work. They took the money, put it in their pocket, bricked over the hole because it was cheaper. You didn't know. They got the money. Now we get to fix the problem and it's going to be an expense. It's an expense to the customer. I can't eat the expense. I didn't do it. I'm just fixing it. And unfortunately, that means paint, drywall, and plumbing. Thank you.